Good day, learners. Today we are going to go over topic number 1, but continuing with our sequence. And the next aspect in topic number 1 is going to be the concept that is liked by many learners, and this is called arithmetic progressions. When we come across arithmetic progressions, you will find that this question does come out in the exams very often. You should expect it for around 5 to 6 marks. Arithmetic progressions. The first thing we need to understand is what is an arithmetic progression. I want you to consider the following sequence of numbers: 1, 4, 7. There's a blank number here, 13, 16. Now this sequence of numbers has a specific pattern. It will not take you long to be able to decide what this number should be. Now if I look here, as I mentioned before, there is some sort of sequence going on. A sequence is an ordered set of numbers. In this example, to find the numbers, if I go to 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, you would find, as previously mentioned, the number goes up to 10 and then the number goes up to 13. By now you would be able to find out a specific sequence that is occurring in this set of numbers. The first term, the 1. In the sequence, there are specific names given to the terms. This one is the first term, therefore we call it T1. T1, guys, stands for term 1. If I move further, T1 is the first term of the sequence. Now we are now going to refer to the first term as A. Guys, this is the symbolic notation for the first term. So whenever I refer to A, remember I'm referring to the first term of the sequence. The second term is called T2, the third term T3, and on and on and on up to Tn, because this could be an infinite number of terms. And by the way, if I look at these numbers, you will find that I'm simply adding 3 to get to the next term. 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10, 10 plus 3 is 13. What do you assume this number here is going to be? Yes, 16 plus 3, which is 19. Now this 3 that I'm referring to every time I'm adding is known as the common difference. The common difference can be calculated as follows. D is the symbolic notation for the common difference. Now guys, A is the first term, D is the common difference, T2 is the second term, T1 is the first term. So in order to find the common difference, I simply take T2 minus T1, or T3 minus T2, or T4 minus T3. So if I take 16 minus 13, I get 3. 13 minus 10, I get 3. 10 minus 7, I get 3. So you would find that D is the common difference. Consider the same example again. The sequence is 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. The question would read, determine the value of T8. That's not too clear, but it says determine the value of T8. T8 means the 8th term. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the 7th term. You can now tell me it's going to be 19, and the 8th term is going to be 22 by simply using the sequence. So if I go to the sequence, I will tell you very simple. This term over here, the 8th term, must equal to 28. But now guys, what happens if I go ahead and say determine the value of T28? Just to make it clear, it says T28, which means the 28th term. Now you will come across a problem, because you will tell me if I have to continue and going up 19, 22 and on and on and on, it becomes a bit cumbersome. So according to these two ladies, there must be an easier way. And sure, there is an easier way. And the easier way is by using a simple formulae. The formulae to determine the nth term of a sequence is given as A plus n minus 1 into d. This formula will be given to you in the formula sheet. Tn stands for the nth term, in this case the 28th term. A stands for the first term. D stands for the common difference, and this n is which term are we dealing with? In this case, we are dealing with the 28th term. Now watch this, guys. If I want to go back to this question here and find out what is T8, now I've already got the answer, but let's see whether the formula actually works. T8 is equal to, what's the value of A, guys? A is the first term, which is 1. Then I go further, what is the value for n? N is equal to 8, correct. And lastly, what is the value for D? D is T2 minus T1. T2 is 4 minus 1, which is equal to 3. Watch what happens if I simply substitute into the formula. A is 1 plus n minus 1 is 8 minus 1 multiplied by D. Now come, guys, you can use your calculators in order to do this, but ensure that you use your calculators correctly. 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 times 3 is 21. 21 plus 1 is equal to 22. How's that, guys? Simple enough. Now let's see if we can work out T28. And by the way, guys, this is the same answer as I mentioned before. T28. In order to get the value for T28, I will use the same formula. Remember, A is equal to 1, N is equal to 8, D is equal to 3. If I substitute into the formula T28, I end up with 1 plus, and watch this, guys, 28 minus 1 multiplied by 3, and I don't need to go further. 27 times 3, because 28 minus 1 is 27, and the answer here is 82. Now imagine how long it would have taken you to work it out by simply adding 3 to the sequence. What happens if I asked you the 100th term? If I use the equation, I will get it correct. And there's some proof, guys. Right. Let's go to worked example number 1. Question 1 is, given the following sequence, minus 3, minus 6, minus 9, minus 12, determine the 8th term of the sequence. I've got some numbers down here, but ignore it for now. Determine the 8th term of the sequence. The 8th term means, guys, I want to calculate 5, 6, 7, 8, the value of the 8th term. The sequence is minus 3, which means A is equal to minus 3, the first term. T3 is 9 minus T2, which is minus 6, and that's going to give me the common difference. And guys, if I work with this now, while I still haven't got the answer there, just to show you what happens over here. If you look at this sequence, these are negative numbers, but please do not let negative numbers confuse you. T3 is minus 9 minus, what's T2? Minus 6. If I work with this, guys, that's minus 9 minus minus becomes positive 6, and the answer here for the D becomes negative 3. And watch what I have over here. A is minus 3, n minus 1, which is 8 minus 1, multiplied by what, guys? Multiplied by negative 3. If you want to make it easier for you, put that in brackets. 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 multiplied by minus 3 is minus 21. Minus 3 minus 21 is equal to negative 24. Of course, quite easy. What about the question if I ask you to determine the 38th term of the sequence? T38, following the equation again, I'm going to go a bit faster, guys. That's the value for A. Look at the n. N goes to what is the actual question they're asking you. It's 38 minus 1. What will make it easier is if I put a bracket here in terms of the minus 3. And the answer here is minus 114. Guys, you would notice it's quite a simple process. I'm simply using the equation. Let's go further. Activity 1. Okay, guys, there's an activity for you to do. You can pause at any given time. Just want to go back to the previous slide. There we go. Right, if I go further, guys, there's your solutions. Again, let's not copy the solutions down. For the sake of making this video short, I'm going to go through the solutions very, very quickly. Be very, very careful of this question, guys. If you look at the first term, it's 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. The first term is 1.5, fine. The common difference is a half because it's 2 minus 1.5, or 2.5 minus 2. Very good. The fifth term is 2.5. The 12th term is 7. Watch the sequence as well. It goes in negatives. A is minus 9, D is minus 12. The 15th term is minus 51. The 24th term is minus 76. Guys, please look at the answers and ensure that you know where you went wrong. I'm not discussing them because they are simple and straightforward. For this one, watch the calculations, especially when we do fractions, it becomes a bit cumbersome. You could make an error. Okay. Now we're going to go on to further examples, guys. You would notice that yes, it is a simple section, but sometimes it can get a bit more difficult. I'm going to show you an example that could come out in your exams. The question reads, the fifth and the 22nd terms of an arithmetic progression are 39 and 114 respectively. Determine the 10th term and the 50th term of this sequence. Going back to this question, guys, we know now the fifth and the 22nd term of an arithmetic progression are 39 and negative 114 respectively. The word respectively is a very, very important word in this case. Respectively means that the fifth term is 39 and the 22nd term is negative 114. The question goes further and says, now you go ahead, determine the 10th term and determine the 50th term. Now, whilst this may seem easy, you would notice that it's slightly different from the previous one because I am not given a sequence of numbers. But nonetheless, guys, let's go ahead and do it. The fifth term means T5. They tell me T5, which I know is equal to A plus 5 minus 1 multiplied by D. Why the 5? Because I'm dealing with the fifth term. A I don't know as yet, D I don't know as yet. I simply have an equation. But what I do know is that the 22nd term at the same time is A plus 22 minus 1 into D, where 22 is equal to this n value here. And I know that the fifth term, if I simplify further, is equal to A plus 5 minus 1 is 4D. What about this side, guys? If I have to do this one before I go there. T22 is equal to A plus 21D. Perfect. Now watch what I have over here. I have A plus 4D, which is actually equal to T5. I simply swap them around. Makes no difference. But what do I know about the fifth term? The fifth term is actually equal to 39. So A plus 4D is equal to 39. Where did this 39 come from, guys? It's part of the question. The fifth term is equal to 39. So 39 is equal to A plus 4D. Watch the other side, guys. As I explained before, T22 is A plus 21D. Perfect. A plus 21D is equal to the 22nd term. I simply swap them around. But what is the 22nd term? The value of the 22nd term is negative 114. So I go here and say A plus 21D is equal to minus 114. Now what do I have, guys? I have A plus 4D, which is equal to 39, which is equation number 1. I've got A plus 21D, which is equal to minus 114. And this now, guys, is equal to equation number 2. And immediately, guys, I have simultaneous equations. I don't mind any which way that you solve it, provided that you get the correct answer. Now let's go with simultaneous equations to solve for A, which is the first term, to solve for D, which is the common difference. Right, going back, guys. A plus 4D is equal to 39, call that equation number 1. A plus 21D is equal to minus 114, equation number 2. This is very easy because all I do is I simply say I need to get rid of one of my variables. I'll get rid of A. Equation 2 minus equation number 1. Equation 2 minus equation number 1. So straight away, guys, I know A minus A, the A's cancel away. 21D minus 4D minus 114 minus 39. Be careful of the sign change. So 21 minus 4D is 17D is equal to minus 114 minus 39 is negative 153. And what do I do now, guys? I solve for D. And D is equal to negative 153 divided by 17, which is equal to 9. Now, how do I get the answer for A? I simply take the value for D, I substitute it into any one of the equations. In this case, I'll substitute in equation number 1. And what do I get? I get A plus 4 into D, but D is equal to 9 is equal to 39. 4 times 9 is 36. A is equal to 39 minus 36, which is equal to 3. Now, what do I have, guys? I have the first term and I have the common difference. If I'm going to ask you now, write down the sequence that I'm dealing with. The first term is equal to A. The second term is equal to 12 because it's plus 9. The third term is equal to 21, and on and on and on. But this question specified that I needed to get the 10th term. According to my equation, T10 is equal to what, guys? A plus N minus 1 into D. What is the value for A? 3. N minus 1 is 10 minus 1. One more time, guys. Where do I get this 10 from? It's part of the question. And the value for D is 9. And that becomes 3 plus 81, which is equal to 84. How's that, guys? Quite a simple problem. Look at T50. T50 is the same principle where N now becomes 50. You let your calculator do the work and you end up with the answer 444. Quite easy. I cannot believe this. Let's go further, guys. There's an activity for you to do. Alright, now in this activity, again, press pause, go ahead and solve the activity. You will find questions are dealing with simultaneous equations as well. We will press pause and copy the question down. Then we go to our solutions, guys. Once again, I will do the first solution, but the rest you can handle by yourself. Right. Example number 1, remember the 7th term is equal to 10. The 13th term is equal to minus 2. So the 7th term is equal to 10, which means A plus 6D is equal to the 7th term, which is 10. The 13th term is equal to minus 2, which means A plus 12D is equal to negative 2. Equation 2 minus equation 1, A minus A falls away, 12D minus 6D, minus 2, minus 10. This, guys, will give me the answer for D. I substitute and I get the value for A. Then I would go and determine what? The 12th term. Easy. And I will get the 34th term. How's that, guys? Quite easy. Let's go to example number 2. Before I even put the answers down here, guys, the 6th term is equal to 25. The 20th term is equal to 81. 6th term. A plus 5D is equal to 25. The 19th term, the 20th term, A plus 19D is equal to 81. And from there, guys, smooth sailing. Please ensure that you do not make any calculation errors. Valuable marks, you want to get all the marks for this question. Number 3. Now look at this question. It says, write down the first 5 terms of the progression. The first term is equal to 35. The common difference is 3, so you keep adding 3 as you go. This is also a potential question. Question number 4. Only difference here is we've got a funny number here, 37,5, but does not make a difference. The fourth term is 18. The fourth year term is 81. Quite simple, guys. Guys, this forms as a section of part 2. Ensure that you understand part 1 100% correct, and on part 2 we kick off from here. Thank you.